Hello Twitchies, I hope you're having a wonderful day today, and we're going to be talking about, on this fine day, your top support, jungle, and mid combos. So that triple combo is going to be very important, because once your game gets started in Conquest, you're going to have your ADC over in their lane, and you're going to have your solo over in his solo lane, and so your triple combo there in the mid lane is going to be very important, because that's going to be the majority of the fights that you're taking until you get into the complete team fight stage is going to be that 3v3 composition, all the poking out in the mid lane, the invades to speed buffs and red buffs, the early gold fury attempts. Those are all going to be based around how strong is your 3v3 compared to their 3v3. So for this video, we're going to be talking about the top 5 combinations here, guys. These are all going to be combinations that give you an idea of stuff that you can be running. A lot of these have other guides that you can fill in to do the same basic concept, but these are 5 of the best of kind of at what these compositions do. And so we're going to be talking about those today. Starting off with number 5, guys. Our combination here is going to have to do a lot with poke, and it has to do a lot with bursting down a target. And that's going to be Fafnir, Soul, and Nemesis. Fafnir support, Soul middle, Nemesis jungle. So why this combo in particular? So starting off with Fafnir, of course Fafnir, one of the strongest supports in the game right now. He also has extremely strong poke. His hammer is a 2.5 stun. We can go and look at his hammer right now. It does quite a bit of damage here. You can see the 1.5 second stun. Not only that, it slows around him for 3 seconds. And of course, if you're level 9 and have this max, that's going to be 260 flat damage plus the 40% slow. Now, not only is this good poke, but this is going to be your majority of your setup here for your team. You throw that hammer and hit somebody with it, okay? Your Nemesis is going to immediately follow up with an ultimate, throw out a soul 2, and that target is dead. Unless they have Aegis, they're dead. If they beaged, it doesn't matter, because your combo came out immediately. It was hammer and Nem ult 2. Poof! Some target instantly dies. So that type of combination you have is going to be extremely strong for picking off one target. Plus, in your team fight, Fafnir is going to be able to give you guys Coerce. Now, one important part about this composition is you can put Coerce on Soul or Nemesis, and it doesn't really matter. So whoever's fighting at that exact moment doing the most damage, perhaps one person got picked off earlier, it doesn't matter. You have 2 very solid options in your team fight for who to put your Coerce on, or if you're in your ultimate form, you want to be hitting both of them because both of them are going to be outputting immense amounts of damage. Now, when you combine this Fafnir stun with this Soul, you're going to find that there is a ridiculous amount of damage in CC. Fafnir 1, stun and slow. Plus he can jump in, he has a disarm. Soul throws out her 2, which does a ton of damage and slows, or she immediately throws out Supernova, so she gets a little bit of a knock-up onto a target, or to everybody around there, not to mention just the general disruption of Supernova, plus the general disruption of Fafnir's ultimate. Of course, Nemesis, I think everybody understands what she does here pretty easily. Basically, Nem's priority, which is all Nem does for the entirety of every game that she's in, and it's why she's so strong, is she just uses her ultimate. You take percentage of somebody's health, early game, 30% of your health is so much of your health. The bigger thing even is the protections, 50% of your protections. This means that those supports that don't have beads, dead every single time. Fafnir throw hammer, Nemesis ult, Soul ult, instantly dead every single time. Allows you to go invade their buffs for free because you have an extra person. You don't even have to go all in on this. You can just use this for poke. Nemesis ultimate's on such a low cooldown. By the time you get your first cooldown item, you can just be spamming and throwing this out because it's on like a 55-second cooldown. Going to give you immense amount of power in the mid lane. Your fight will also transition extraordinarily well into the late game with that comp. Next up in our top 5, we got number 4. This is going to be our pick-off comp, which was quite popular for a while. It's going to be Sobek support, Vulcan middle because Vulcan's in the meta, and a Willix in the jungle. So this was a combination that was quite popular during the last split and isn't quite as popular right now, but it still works the exact same way. So mainly what you're looking to do with this composition is you want to pick people off either in the mid lane or in the jungle. Utilize wards with this type of composition. If you can get wards around the mid camps, you base yourself at the gold theory. That's going to be what you really want to do. you're giving so many knockup opportunities for the Awilix. Sobek Pluck is a knockup. Sobek Tail Whip is a knockup. Vulcan Meatball is a knockup, and Awilix has a built-in knockup. You have 4 knockups to work with, plus how far you can get people out of position. If your Sobek plucks somebody, throws them back, your Awilix then proceeds to grab them from there. Vulcan throws a Meatball at the location, so they're knocked up at the arrival of the location. You pulled somebody all the way down the lane, not to mention this got knocked back into your tower. This is a composition that is not easy to pull off. You got to have a lot of communication between your team. What you're looking to do is you're looking to get that Awilix ult as your initiation, or use it as a beads burner so you can get your charge payoff. So you have a couple options. One, you can have the Vulcan be your main source of knockup. Okay? Vulcan Meatball is very easy to hit, plus it's good poke. He can be throwing out Magma Bomb all the time. What you can do is you can have Vulcan throw out your Magma Bomb, okay? Have your Awilix ultimate. That means they have to beads, okay? They absolutely have to beads or they're going to die because they're going to get pulled in, they're going to get feather stepped, they're going to get knocked up again, they're going to get railed on. But, assuming this is not the Guardian, if it's the support, you can just kill him every time. That's the best part about this composition is you just farm the support. If they forget to get beads at level 1, because a lot of supports don't even think about getting beads, you pluck them, you Awilix ult them, they're dead. You pluck them, you Awilix ult them, they're dead. You kill them 5 times before the 10-minute marker, and then you take all of their jungle because their support was never out. But, what you want to do a lot of the times with this is use your Magma Bomb, plus the Awilix ultimate. That's immediately going to get somebody's beads. They're going to be playing up still with their team because they're like, oh, your Awilix ult is down, but you're going to have your Sobek Pluck up still. Utilize your Sobek Pluck on targets that already have their beads down. Throw them out of position. Get them to the Awilix so she can feather step them, and feather stepping them makes them poof right into the history books. They're going to be dead. Not to mention, this also gives Vulcan a lot of setup opportunities for his ultimate. If you pluck somebody, Vulcan knows exactly where to ult. If you Awilix ult somebody, Vulcan knows exactly where to ult. You're going to give him a lot of opportunities to be landing the ultimate. Even if it's point blank range, it doesn't matter because it's still going to do a ton of damage. It still does 60% strength, which is going to be plenty of damage considering how high the base is. Plus you combine that with your Meatball and your 1 and you're going to be doing all kinds of damage. So you don't even have to worry about hitting long range. All about getting it to the Vulcan and getting him to the Awilix with your Sobek and using your Vulcan Meatballs. Next up on our top 10, we have one of my personal favorites. This composition is really silly and it works great, and that's going to be Kumba support, Kukulkan middle, and Susano in the jungle. So this composition is a little bit different from the other ones. This is all about kind of a wombo combo, okay? So a lot of the other ones is a lot of, the last two we talked about a little bit of poking, about burning beads, about getting people out of position. This is about straight 100 to 0 wombo combo somebody. And so what's your main reason for doing that? So you've got your Kukulkan, who's going to be your main source of damage here, okay? His Zephyr, which is your sneeze, chew, and you do tons of damage. Fantastic. You can have so much setup for free sneezes with Kumba by just using your Mez and your Root. 2 perfectly easy setup abilities. Nobody wants to beads a Kukulkan Mez or a Kumba Mez. Nobody wants to beads a Kumba Root. So you're going to get hit by the sneeze, okay? Also, those are also great setups for the tornado, which means you're getting tons of poke off on people, okay? As well as with this tornado, we want to talk about Susano before we get to the wombo combo. This whirlwind has a big indicator because Susano has the capability to bring people back into the tornado, which is underutilized quite a bit. So you throw out a tornado on somebody, okay, for the Kukulkan. Susano's there, he walks inside your tornado and uses his wind siphon, so he pulls people back into the tornado that were just inside it, meaning they're going to get another round of that dot on them, and that's going to do so much damage from the tornado. Like, immense amounts of damage, like, will probably end up killing people without using either your ult or Kukulkan ult or Kumba ult, just because you're keeping somebody inside a tornado because they're rooted, they're mez, they're pulled, they're slowed inside a tornado. Now, for your wombo combo, you have 2 options. One, you can use the Typhoon from Susano. This, of course, is a knockup. So you can have your Susano channel his ultimate. The second you see it channeling as a Kukulkan player, You launch your ult, Susanoo launches his ult, they get knocked up into the air, they fall back down as the Coconut comes through, and they slam onto them, and you knock out everybody who was in that area. Really easy way to hit at least 1 or 2 people with your Coconut ultimate, and assuming it's not the support, they're going to be instantly dead. Or if it's early game, even the support's going to die because of the Typhoon damage plus Coconut damage. Now, you have the exact same thing that you can do with the Kumba, just not quite as effective because it's only on one person. You walk up with the Kumba ult, slam them into the air, Kukulkan throws down his ultimate while they're sitting in the air, and you go ahead and annihilate whoever it was you just knocked up, even if it was the support. You have so much setup for your Kukulkan from your CC and from your huge knockups in order to set up his ultimate for free that he should never, ever, 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 ever have to use their ultimate without setup. If your Kukulkan in this composition is ulting without setup, then something's gone wrong because either they're ulting way too fast and on cooldown, or you're not using your ultimate abilities to give Kukulkan the setup. Crazy damage, instantly blows up people, really great rank combo as well. Our next combo, number 2, that we're going to be talking about is a combo that's all about invading and abusing the map space. And that's going to be Athena support, Janus middle, and Ratatoskr in the jungle. All 3 of these characters have the capability to really, really abuse the map, okay? So first of all, for Ratatoskr, one of the big things about him is him having the acorn. It means that he has a little bit extra movement speed, and he gets his boots without even having to back, okay? That's a big deal, because if you can get your boots without backing, that means you're going to be able to look for that level 5 gank really quick, and it means that you're going to have more power and more movement speed than the people that you're ganking. Utilizing this with Athena is going to yield you crazy results. What I recommend is if you have Ratatoskr, you get level 5, your support's going to be hitting level 5 in the dual lane with Athena, okay? Right about the time you're doing that, it's going to be time for speed buffs. As Ratatoskr, all you have to do, launch yourself into the air, jump onto the enemy speed buff, the enemy jungler is probably there, land on top of him, have your Athena ulti you immediately. Now, their jungler can't fight you because he just got smashed by your ult and there's an Athena ult incoming. So he's got to completely either give up his speed buff or his team's got to come in to fight. So at most, they're going to have their solo laner rotate over and their mid lane rotate over. Well, you've got your Janus ult, so your Janus is going to be there, and your Janus ult smacks somebody and does half the health because Janus ult does half their health. Your solo laner rotated as well with you. Now you've got 4v3. You already took the speed buff. The jungler was already super low from the rat ult, so you killed the jungler immediately. Then it was a 4v2 fight. You cleaned up that fight, and all of a sudden you just got 4 kills, plus you got the blue buff as well because the blue buff spawns right after the speed buff. And all of a sudden you just won the game because you're up like 2.5k gold at the 3-minute mark, which is basically just putting a game away. Utilizing those ultimates, that global presence on the map is going to absolutely destroy your opponent if you do it properly. Invade their buffs. If you can save a Janus ult, you can invade their buffs and kill them and then ulti over to the Gold Fury and go do the Gold Fury right after you take all the buffs. They can't make it there in time. They were trying to defend their buffs. Then they had to back to base and you ultied immediately to the Gold Fury to go take it. Lots of opportunities to abuse the comp. It does take a lot of communication to make sure that your team is working together. But if you have that triple combo with friends, I would recommend trying it because it's crazy fun. Finally, our last Wombo combo, and this is going to be our most consistent combo, and it's just about going all in all the time, and that's going to be Bacchus support, Raijin mid, and Thor in the jungle. This combo is basically, think about the previous one where we talked about Kumba, Kukulkan, Susanoo, and kind of their huge ultimate burst damage and stuff. It's like that, except for you don't have to worry about hitting the Kukulkan ult. Kukulkan accidentally uses his ultimate too early. Oh no, we lost a lot of our damage. Nope, you don't got to worry about it because you got a Bacchus, Raijin, Thor. All this combo is about is following up on your Bacchus. Your Bacchus is going to be going in, and he's going to be going in really hard, right? So he's going in super hard, and he's using his belly flop, which is going to do a ton of base damage, plus knocking people up and slowing them when they land, correct? Fantastic. So they get flopped in, you hit at least 1 or 2 people, your Thor immediately hammers, okay? Your Thor immediately hammers, gets a double tap on Thor, he's leveling his hammer, so they do 400 damage to you, plus Raijin has an option to either go 2-1 or 2-3. He can dash in with you. The Thor can hammer in with you and spin. One thing about this comp you have to utilize is the fact that as a team, you can go in so much faster than him. All of you have the ability to just poof, be inside the team fight. Another option you have here with this composition is have the Thor go off into the side jungle. Have the Thor go off from the side jungle, ulti in. The second you hear him coming in ulting, run forward with Bacchus Raijin. Your Thor is going to land on 1 or 2 people. You follow up with the Bacchus flop. Your Raijin uses his 2-1 or his 2-3 and does all their damage. At this point, that's not even talking about Bacchus or Raijin. We didn't even use them, right? And they're dead. I mean, they're completely dead. The Bacchus flop combo with a Thor ultimate hammer Raijin 2-1, 2-3 is going to at least kill 1 person. Plus, you then use your Raijin ult on the people that are running away because the length is so ridiculously long. You taunt them back, and by the way, they were trying to run away while they were drunk because you hit them with your Intoxicate. And the thing about this combination is you can do it all the time. If you want to use the Thor ultimate for your initiation, you got to wait a little bit longer in order to do it, but you don't have to use Thor ultimate in order to do this. All you need up is your flop. If your flop is up, you go in, you flop, you hammer, you Raijin 2-3. Poof, everybody's in the fight immediately. You're halfway down the lane, boom, you dive them at the tower line, you immediately kill whoever they have, whether it be Janice, Nuwak, Kulkin, Sol, doesn't matter who it is. If they're knocked up for a Thor hammer, Raijin 2-3, they are 100-0 every single time unless it's the support at like the 25-minute mark. That combination is going to be the easiest to use, and it's the most consistent to do all the time to put pressure on everywhere. The second you kill them in the mid lane, you can go to the jungle buffs, take their jungle buffs, and you can use your combo again because it's only on like, what, a 15-second, 16-second flop cooldown for your entire combination. Those are some combo guys I think you should be trying. If you have people that are looking to play in those 3 roles, those type of combinations are going to let you play around your strength. Pick the composition that works to your strength. Do you want to be doing a lot of global map presence, trying to gank the side lanes perhaps? Use that global composition because everybody can get there. Do you just want to be fighting over and over and over again? Play the Bacchus, Raijin, Thor comp. Play the composition that plays to your strength, and I hope you learned something here today, or maybe got some ideas to go play with your friends and do some combos, or maybe go put it in your casual games and your ranked games and tell people about it so you can get yourself some more wins and some more elo. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, have a twitching day, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's the final countdown. Ba-da-ba-boo. Ba-da-ba-ba-boo. Ba-da-ba-boo. The final countdown.